Yes, sir. Welcome back. Let me make sure we're not muted here. Hold on. We're folding already. There we go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of the Dope Sports Podcast, brought to you by DopeContent.com and Get the Tables on Twitch. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow Get the Tables on Twitch, especially if you're a fan of wrestling and the wrestling community. We are live today to talk a little NBA playoffs, to talk the play-in predictions, and we're going to give our whole first round predictions now since we know the official matchups. As you see on the screen, the play-in tournament starts tonight, so we're going to get into that. I'm trying to get my screen over here to work. I got everything on the computer working, but now the screen don't want to work. But that's all good. As long as we're live and we're streaming, we're good to go. So, Tony, how's your day going?
Going all right, yourself?
Going pretty good, man. Just, you know how it is, in between work shifts, trying to get everything going. You still got to build the sports brand and the brand up, even though you're working a regular job. You know how it is.
I hear you, man. So, yeah. It ain't easy.
It's a non-stop grind, but we are here today. So as you see on the screen, if you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, DopeContent.com, we have the I'm so used to saying the NFL on the stream. We have the NBA playoff bracket right there. Once again, the play-in tournament starts tonight. But before we get into that, let me bring this up. Odell Beckham has officially signed with the Baltimore Ravens, ladies and gentlemen. 1 year, $18 million deal, 15 guaranteed. And he said he's coming with the expectations that Lamar Jackson will be his quarterback. They did FaceTime each other already, and he said Lamar recruited him. What are your thoughts about this pickup for the Ravens?
I mean, it's the best receiver they've gotten for Lamar,
right?
Since he's been a quarterback for Baltimore. But I mean, it's a pretty hefty price for a guy coming off a pretty serious knee injury,
right?
I don't know. I hope it works out for the Ravens. I hope it works out for Lamar, because Lamar's been the one that's been struggling the most with the lack of weapons that he's had on that offense with the Ravens. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like got to wait and see kind of type of game. I'm really surprised they gave him that much money. He got the most money out of all the receivers in free agency per year. So, I mean, they really have high expectations for Odell. This probably was maybe a tactic where we got to sign him to maybe hope Lamar stays. So maybe it works. I think it is, because I think I don't know, man, it's a weird situation going on in Baltimore.
Yeah.
You don't know very much about the situation at hand with Lamar in Baltimore. You don't know if they've talked. You don't know if things are good. You don't know if they're, shopping him around. Is he looking at other teams? Like, it's kind of been on the hush a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like other than with Rodgers, you kind of know the destination at hand where he's going. So I think it's gonna all come down to draft night. I think if he's still a Raven after the draft is ended, I think more than likely he's staying with Baltimore. So I hope this works for them. I hope they grab him some more weapons in the draft, because they're going to need it. I think putting your hands, you're putting it all in on Odell to be the great Odell that he was a couple seasons ago is a bit of a risk. But I'm interested to see what happens. Yeah. Back to back. Came back from one and then tore it again. So I look, it's very risky, very, very risky to pay a man that much money, guaranteed money, and where he could go down week 1, week 2. I'm not sure how ready he is to play. I'm not sure if he said he'll be ready by the season opener or whatever.
He should be, yeah.
But man, very risky on the Ravens' part to go out and sign this man to so much money. But you're trying to keep Lamar, so you're going to do whatever you can.
Yeah, that's kind of how I looked at it. Is okay, maybe Lamar did come to the front office and say, you guys got to give me something. If you want me to play on this non-exclusive franchise tag this year, you have to give me something else outside of Nelson Aguilar. Yeah. So, and Baltimore probably like, okay, well, let's see what you are. This will be your last test. We're going to give you Odell Beckham. And if you look at it, you have Odell Beckham, Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman. You still got Duvernay, and then you still got Andrews. All of a sudden, you do actually have a pretty good wide receiver room now. So like you're actually doing all right. It's better than what it's ever been since he's been there, since Lamar's been there.
Right, this is probably the best offensive talent he's had,
right,
since becoming a Baltimore Raven, and maybe it will lessen the slack that he has to put up on offense because he was doing it all for the Ravens.
Yeah.
He's surprisingly he never threw it to himself. How much he had to play a role in that offense. So I agree with you. I think this is kind of like, hey, we're trying. It's not like we want you to leave and we want to keep you. We'll do whatever you want to keep you,
right?
But you got to help us out in the long and as well. So it's like I think Lamar has to come to the realization that he's not going to get the money that Watson got, and he needs to kind of meet them in the middle. Cleveland screwed everyone up with that contract that they offered Watson.
Yeah.
So I think Lamar has to come to the realization that, hey, I'm a great quarterback. I'm probably an arguably top 5, top 3 quarterback in the league. But obviously, I'm not going to get that money that I want because it's just not possible.
Right.
So I think he needs to meet them in the middle and help out Baltimore as well.
So let me ask you this. With Odell, I guess being that, here you go, Lamar. Do you think that's a fair piece to grade Lamar on?
No.
So you still think that they should have tried to give him, what
Yes.
if they do something like draft like a Jalen Hyatt out of Tennessee?
If they get him some more weapons,
yeah,
then we have a conversation. But adding Odell, a guy that could go down on the snap of the finger, doesn't make any difference to me. They still like Nelson Aguilar. Yeah, he's a fast guy. He's a speedy dude. Again, he hasn't been proven. We don't know what we're going to get with him.
Right.
We know what we're going to get from the tight end Andrews. That dude's a beast. We know what we're going to get. He's his number one target most of the time. So you know what you're going to get at certain players. But Odell, it's a question mark. Because, yeah, he played well for the Rams, but got hurt.
Yeah.
So it's like, do we expect to see the same Odell? I'm sure he's in great shape. I'm sure he worked his ass off to get back to
he looks
100%
buff now. Like
so, you know, if he can stay healthy, then yeah, sure, this is a fair conversation. Yeah, this is enough weapons for him.
Yeah.
But no, they got to do this. They can't have the Rodgers mistake where the Packers never got Aaron any weapons until late in his career.
Yeah.
They need to get out there. If they have to move up to grab some of these wide receivers that are potentially the top of the draft, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to help out Lamar. You got to do whatever you can as an organization if they want to keep him. That is, to keep him.
Yeah, Diamond Day, what's good? Poetic Beauty, what's good? Appreciate y'all coming in mid morning on a Tuesday. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you that to see what your thoughts were, because I'm like, man, it's okay. Oh, the name of it sounds great.
Yeah.
But 2 torn ACLs back to back, you know, at $18 million, 15 guaranteed, you know.
I mean, it's also like he gets to what, $3 million in incentives. It
Right.
can make it to up to 18.
Yeah.
He may work his ass off to get those incentives.
Right.
So we may get a Odell from the New York Giants era. Who knows? But again, it's very, very risky when you have a guy that came off of 2 back-to-back same injuries and you're paying him that much money. You're paying him that much money to think he's going to go out there and perform.
So if Lamar goes out there, let's say Odell gets 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, Nelson Aguilar gets you about 700 to 800 yards, and Rashad Bateman gets you about 700 to 800 yards. Is that enough? And they, you know, let's say they win a game. Let's just say one. Let's say they win one game in the playoffs. Is that enough to give Lamar, especially with the price going up the next year, how the price always goes up in the market, is that enough to get Lamar that contract he's looking for?
I don't know exactly how much he's asking for guaranteed money. But if I'm Baltimore, I'm paying the dude.
Yeah.
Because honestly, unless you're getting a top 5 to 10 pick next year, who are you going to get? Who are you going to pick up to take over for Lamar? I don't think Huntley is the man. I do not think that man
Come on, Tony, he's a Pro Bowler.
I don't think that man is going to take over the quarterback position and just be a Tom Brady, like, oh man, look at this, we should have started him from the beginning. No, I think if you want Lamar, you got to pay him, and I think he deserves to get paid. Look, I wouldn't pay him $50 million a year. That's outrageous. I'll meet him in the middle. You want 40? I'll do 40. I think that's more than fair enough. Guaranteed money per year that he should be okay with. Like, it should be like, you got to meet in the middle. I get it. Lamar thinks he's above all, be all, and should be paid like that. But he has to understand that Watson contract was outrageous and it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So I think Lamar, as much as talented as he is, he needs to meet him in the middle. And now if I'm Baltimore, I'm doing everything I can to keep that man. Okay. Because you don't know where you're going to be at next year. Yeah. Unless you trade him, which you can't because he's not under contract. Unless you tag him, I guess, again, which I don't think is he eligible to be tagged again?
He still has to sign it and agree to play it. That's
the thing. So it's like you got to think about this. And unless you're in that top category of where you can grab a future quarterback, I would, like Chomp Ass said in the chat, I'd pay him up to 45. I think that's fair. Like, what is $5 million difference gonna do, Lamar? Like, seriously. Does he want that? Does he want that tag to be the highest paid quarterback in the league? Is that what he's aiming for?
I think so.
I mean, come on, man. That's being selfish. That's an ego thing right there.
So, Push Play DJ, make sure you follow him. Make sure you follow Diamond Dave as well. He says, pay the man. You don't care. I mean, I'm with you, Push, because
you'd pay him $50 million a year.
If the market goes up and he proves that he can bring Odell back to being Odell, yeah. I mean, I
think he would have to win more than one playoff game if he wants $50 million.
Nah, I will pay him anyway because he's the franchise. He is the franchise. So
that's a lot of money, man. But I mean, hey.
But you got to think about it.
I hear you.
In 2 years, nobody's going to be talking about that $50 million. Just like they're saying Kirk Cousins and Dak and all them. That it's a steal now. Like, you know what I'm saying? The market goes up.
Look, Allen is going to get paid as well. Is his contract up soon, or has he already gotten paid?
I think he already got paid. Yeah,
he should make more than Josh Allen, in my opinion. Absolutely. I'm not sure what the numbers is for Josh Allen.
I think he's the second highest paid, I believe.
I would make him higher paid than Josh Allen. So whatever Josh Allen's making, I would pay him higher. I'd make Lamar the second highest paid quarterback in the league.
I mean, so we'll see, man. I hope Odell stays healthy. Y'all know the Ravens are my second favorite team. They would be number one if I didn't stay in Dallas. But hey, unfortunately, I'm a homer, so it is what it is on that. Let me ask you one more question before we move on to the NBA. Baltimore has the 22nd overall pick. Let's say one of these quarterbacks, for whatever reason, drop to 22. Do you take a quarterback and trade Lamar for sure, or what are you doing with that situation?
Damn, that's tough.
Let's say, because I know Bryce Young is going to be gone. Let's just say, for whatever reason, Stroud from Ohio State drop.
Yes.
Ooh.
If he's there, like, the biggest question mark would be if Anthony Richardson is there. If Anthony Richardson is there, who's a similar like quarterback to Lamar, I would consider it, man. I would definitely consider. Obviously, he's not probably ready to play week one.
Yeah,
you'd probably play Hundley the whole season, depending on how things went.
I play Richardson over Hundley.
Well, you're gonna throw him into the dog pit like that. I mean, I guess you could, but it's a domino effect because, like, if say you did that, obviously Lamar's gonna get pissed off,
right?
Just like Aaron did. He's gonna get pissed. He's gonna wondering what the hell's going on, what direction are they going, and then you're gonna get what Odell's probably thinking. What the fuck? I just signed here because you told me Lamar's gonna stay,
right?
Or we're gonna do what we can to keep Lamar,
right?
So it's a domino effect. The morale between those two guys may go down a bit. So it's a risky pick, but if Richardson is there, which he probably won't, I would do it.
He might drop. We'll see.
If he's down that, I'm hoping Bucks pick him up if he's down that high. Shit.
Where is
But
Tampa?
man, I feel like they're
y'all 19. Y'all
19. So if he's there at 19, they better pick his ass. But I'm just saying, like, I don't see him going past probably 15 because people will move up to get him. Obviously, I think.
You got Green Bay and Washington. Green Bay 15, Washington 16, Pittsburgh 17, Detroit 18.
Yeah, he'll be
they probably be
to one of them
gone.
teams. Yeah. So I feel like if he's there, you got to do it. But if you're Baltimore and you got that pick, you go after a wide receiver. You go after the most talented wide receiver that's on the board at that moment.
Jay Cross said he's not worth it. Richardson is so overrated. Jay Cross on YouTube, what's good, man? Appreciate you joining.
It just depends on who's there because Levis won't be there. I think Levis is going to go top 5, top 10. The only one that, what was it, Hernan from Tennessee? Do you pick him up that high? Who came off an injury?
No,
probably
he's
not.
Dropping.
You probably wait till the second, third round to grab him. So if he's there for Baltimore, I'd consider it. Who I hope Tampa picks up as well. Hope he goes to Tampa. But I don't think, if in my opinion, you just try to stack up that offense for Lamar because the defense is there. The defense is fine.
Chump ass.
You got to go after some offense.
Chump ass said Joey B or Lamar. I mean, so right now it will have to be Joey B because he stayed healthy, but at the same time, and Joey is just so calm and composed, and he's been there before. Like, Joey is just a different breed, but at the same time, Lamar has never had a Jamar Chase or a T. Higgins on his team. So what if Lamar was in Cincinnati under that offense with T. Higgins, Chase, and what's the running back, Mixon? Like, Lamar probably would have been to the Super Bowl as well. So that's a tough one.
It all depends. Like, to me, Joe Burrow is, like you said, a different breed.
Yeah,
the dude's always calm and collected. Probably should have made it to the Super Bowl again over some controversy shit against the Chiefs, which wasn't really controversy, but you know what I mean. But like the Chiefs, the Bengals seem like they're going to be there as long as they keep Burrow, and they got Chase and
right.
Talent around them. Maybe the Ravens should kind of copy that. They got 2 star receivers. See how good they are when they have 2 really good receivers, Baltimore, and they don't have
and a good
guys that probably could play in the XFL instead of the NFL. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, let's be real here.
So Jay Cross,
you need to get some talent.
Jay Cross said the quarterback from Tennessee would have been top 5 if he didn't tear his ACL. So Jay Cross, this goes back to what I say about Tony Pollard. After Tony Pollard tore his ACL or his ankle, whatever it was that he broke against the 49ers, that changes your opinion because it happened. It's broke. So now he's not that same guy, and he's not guaranteed to be that same guy. CT the Chef on YouTube said Lamar hasn't had a bunch of talent outside the hash marks. That's facts. I mean, he got Hollywood Brown to get 1,000 yards multiple times. Hollywood hasn't done nothing like that since joining Kyler Murray in Arizona. So, I mean, that says something.
I think the Tennessee quarterback, I think it's Hernan or Hennon. So I can't remember his last name. I think he's good, and I think whoever gets him will be one of the steals of the draft. Hooker. Thank you. Hooker. I think his first name is Hernan or something like that. Hooker. I think he'll be one of the steals of the draft, seeing who he goes to and what round he goes to. If he goes to like a Bucks or a team that already has its quarterback for this year but needs one for the future, it could be definitely a steal for the draft. And yeah, I think the biggest knock on him is not the injury, is his age. He's like 25 or 26 years old. He's like what's his name?
And will he be ready to play this year?
Like, I don't know if he'll be ready to play this year.
Like to be 100% and to be himself.
I'm not sure about that. But I've heard a lot of the people don't like him is because of his age. He's like a Brandon Whedon. He was like mid-20s when he hit the league. That's what some people are kind of iffy on drafting him.
See, Brandon didn't have that talent that Hooker has, though. In my opinion, I don't think Brandon Whedon had the talent that Hooker has. But
I agree.
The injury drops you to me. I've seen too many players. Like we look at Michael Gallup last year everybody's trying to trade Michael Gallup. Well, he came off a torn ACL, 2 of them, just like Odell. And it takes time. It takes at least 2 years to get back to being what you was before that. So, yeah, he's fresh off of ACL. That drops you to me, just like Pollard. That drops you to me. So we'll see what happens with the draft. I can't wait. That's coming up pretty soon. And
the draft's gonna be super exciting. Are you doing anything for the draft?
I was just about to ask if you want. I know Speeds wants to do something, but Sundays or the wrestling podcast for me. So it really depends on what time I can get off of that to come over there. We did it early this week, so I was able to get in the chat and chat it up with them. But
no, I mean like actual on draft night. Are you gonna do anything for the draft?
We can if you.
Yeah, let me know if we do. I'll pop on.
What is it? A Thursday, right?
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah, We should definitely do a draft day. We'll get that set up because Thursdays I'm actually here, so that's good.
Yeah, let me know.
Let me make sure I ain't miss no comments before we move to next up. So before we go to the NBA and our predictions, YouTube has announced its pricing for NFL Sunday Ticket. If you are a YouTube subscriber, it's $349 a season. $249 if you decide to purchase before June 6th. $389 if you bundle it with the Red Zone. If you're not a YouTube subscriber, it's $449 a season. $349 if you get it on before June 6th, and $489 for the people with Red Zone. It will be $3.99 for me as well, Push, because I will be on that. I ain't gonna tell you the website, but I will be on. I don't want the website to get banned, so I can keep watching the games. But
dude, that's how I watch my Bucks.
There you go.
A certain website as well.
Yeah,
I didn't watch. I had Red Zone, but I watched my Bucks on a certain website.
Yeah.
Every game. So yeah, this ain't gonna affect me. But goddamn, do they expect? Are we supposed to be millionaires that going to be paying this shit? Like, what the hell's wrong with them? Now, what is the how much did it go up in price from DirecTV to YouTube TV?
Dude, I stopped counting a long time ago because I've been doing the streams myself. But I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
Yeah, you still keep the Red Zone, Dave, but you can get. If you have Red Zone, like you can just do Red Zone, but it'll be like a tad bit cheaper, like $5 cheaper or something like that. If you decide to get $10, the whole $10, excuse me. If you decide to get the whole thing, which you don't need to because you are in Detroit or Michigan, Detroit shows their games on your station, so you have no reason to get it.
Right.
But a guy like me. I'm from San Antonio. I'm a Tampa Bay fan.
And they gonna make you watch the Cowboys.
I would, they watch the Cowboys or the Texans. I would consider buying it.
So,
which I'm not, but that's insane.
So last year on DirecTV it was $293 per season.
Oh, so they went up.
Of course, everybody goes up on everything. Look, we got YouTube not playing. Same here, free $3.99 and Bizarre.
No, you keep the Red Zone, Dave. Keep the Red Zone.
Yeah,
but you won't need to buy like the package.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get everybody coming. So let's go ahead and get into the NBA. That's the main event, and then we got a little bit of the XFL. Let's get this intro and let's go. As you see, the Dope Sports Podcast. So that was just the intro, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we do it. We give you a pre-intro, talk some good stuff, have good conversation. Then we get into the actual show. So thank you once again for joining. Appreciate everybody that's joining today. On this Tuesday morning, I know you can probably at work or you're off work and just want to lay down or whatever. I appreciate you guys for watching. like I say, the sports podcast, when you come watch the sports and the wrestling podcast, that means more to me than any other stream that I do, because that's work and a dope content podcast. And I love having Tony here, so I appreciate him joining as always. Let's get into the NBA play-in tournament. Starts tonight. Where is the schedule? We're not even gonna have to. We don't even have to go in order. Let's just go over the play-in matchups and make our first round predictions. And as you see, we have the Hawks and Heat. That's on the actual screen right here. So if you're watching it, you see Hawks and Heat tonight at 6:30 p.m. Who do you have in that game?
Heat all the way. Too much drama going on in Atlanta, man. Lee. Now they're thinking about trading Trae Young.
They've been saying that for a while. And Collins.
I mean, I think there's just too much drama in Atlanta. So, and it's the Heat, man. The Heat always seem to be a thorn in the playoffs. So I'm gonna go with the Heat.
And Jay Cross think he funny, talking about when does Dallas play the same time. You know, I ain't even gonna say nothing, Dallas. I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna let you make it today. You can have it. I'll let you have it, because I was gonna get you with a comeback, but I'm gonna let you have it today. I don't even know who your NBA team is if you have one. But
he's a Sixers fan.
With the overrated coach that's about to lose. But I actually like Phil. I like the 76ers, but they just, we'll get into
it's
them.
The coaching, man.
Yeah, we'll get into them. I got Miami winning as well, so they'll be locked in the number 7 spot, and Atlanta will play the winner of the Raptors and Bulls. Who do you have between the Raptors and the Bulls?
Raptors. From what I was hearing, that the Bulls were like trying to tank it as well. They didn't want to make the playoffs.
They didn't want to beat us that game that we tanked.
Yeah, like they sat everyone too as well.
Yeah.
So like they don't even want to be there either. So what makes me think they're gonna try to win this game? So yeah, I'm gonna go with Toronto.
That was a crazy game. I was so irritated with that.
It's funny. I heard a story.
I was so irritated with that game.
I heard a story about the Dallas Bulls game where Luka played the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then they played him like a little bit of the second, and they sat him. They wanted him to get that
standing ovation.
Nobody did it because they had no
clapped.
idea what's going on. Like they didn't know he was sitting for the rest of the year. That's hilarious to me.
Yeah, like they tried to announce it quickly before the game that Jason Kidd tried to announce that he was only going to play first quarter. And then they came back second quarter so he could get a layup, and then they fouled to take him out. And they was supposed to do the standing ovation. The crowd was like, "No, you're tanking on our season and that we paid tickets for, and you can easily beat the Bulls. The Bulls are sitting everybody. They almost beat them." And look, before I make my pick on that game, another thing that pissed me off, the backup team was killing them. They was up 13 and a half. Morris was hitting threes. JaVale McGee was shooting freaking threes and making them. And then Hardy was unstoppable. So what Kid do in the third quarter? He took all of them out and started playing people we never seen before. And they end up losing by like 2 points or 3 points, something like that. It was,
that's how it was when y'all played the Spurs. Y'all sat everyone.
Bruh.
And we beat y'all by we were up by like 50, I think, at one point.
Yeah, I think first quarter.
Yeah, but y'all ended up kind of coming back, making it a little bit of a game. But
yeah, Pinson.
I was like, wow. Yeah, Theo Pinson, and you had Marquise Morris.
He had a triple-double.
This dude was just launching threes. Like, he didn't even give a shit. They just gave him the ball. He looked and shoot the ball. He didn't care. Like, what are you going to do? Sit me? Jason Kidd? What are you going to do?
Right. So, but I got the Raptors beating the Bulls. So that means the Heat. I'm sorry. That means, no, we did pick the Heat. That means the Heat and the Raptors will play for that number 8. I'm sorry. The Hawks and the Raptors will play for that number 8 spot. The Heat will be number 7. You got Toronto over the Hawks?
Yeah.
I think the Hawks would beat the Raptors and get that number 8 spot.
I think it's a toss-up. It's honestly a toss-up between those two teams. You have one team that's going through so much shit in the locker room with drama, and who's not going to be there next year. And you got Toronto, who seems to always fight. They're one of those teams
they play hard.
They remind me kind of the Spurs a little bit. They're going to fight you until they are just out of it. And yeah. I think they make the playoffs and then get swept in the first round. So yeah, I think they'll definitely make the playoffs though.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into the first round. Now on the West side, you got the number 9 Pelicans taking on the number 10 Thunder.
Jeez, Pelicans.
I got the Pelicans all day on that. So The Pelicans will play the loser of the Lakers and Timberwolves.
Well,
the Lakers got to win that.
I would have given T-Wolves a bit of a chance if Gobert didn't shove his fucking teammate and got
punched him in the chest
for a game. God, what a! And then you had your what was his name? McDaniels
break his hand.
I don't know why did he punch. What the hell was that about? Goes into the. He was having a pretty good season. Gets upset, punches the wall, breaks his hand. He's out for the year.
Right.
Like, what is going on? I think Lakers win because without Gobert, they're going to be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about Gobert, he's still a defensive presence,
right?
In that paint.
Wish I had him.
Yeah, really. I would take him on the Spurs. He would help out tremendously. But without him, you're going to count on Karl Anthony Towns to play a lot more defense. I just don't see them pulling out against Anthony Davis, LeBron, and all them. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I was going to pick LA regardless of what happened Sunday with the Timberwolves falling apart. Speaking of falling apart, did you see the Clippers fighting each other?
I did. It was drama filled last season
just...
of the game. Like last game of the season was drama, nothing but it.
Yeah, so that was crazy. But
luckily for the Clippers, it was with two guys that probably don't play very much.
Well, Mason Plumlee was supposed to be like one of your starters. That's what they traded for him. So
yeah, well, okay, just him maybe. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on.
It was a weird day Sunday. Everybody, I don't know what was going on either. But I got the Lakers winning that. You said LA too, right?
Yeah.
All right, so LA will lock up the 7th seed, which means the Pelicans and the Timberwolves will play for that final 8th seed. Who you got?
You know what? I'm gonna go T-Wolves because they'll have Gobert back. And I feel like they're going to have something to prove. If they have any type of heart on that team, they're going to try to win that game to prove that, all this shit that happened was just, a one-time deal. I feel like they're going to play hard and win. Is it in Minnesota by chance?
Yeah, it would be in Minnesota, yes.
I think they, in that home crowd there, fired up. Yeah, I'm going to go Minnesota.
I'm going to still take the Pelicans. Pelicans was one of my sleeper teams at the beginning of the year, and I expected them to be way higher than what they are right now. But I'm going to take the Pelicans. They ended the season pretty much. They were hot at the end of the season, so I give them that. And now let's get to the first round. You want to start on the East or the West?
Let me go East.
So the Bucks, according to us, who did you said the Raptors for you, the 8 seed, right?
Yeah.
So Bucks versus the Raptors.
Sweep. 4. Bucks and 4.
I got the Bucks versus Hawks, and I think it's a sweep as well. This is a good one. Cleveland taking on New York, the Knicks.
Zion's not playing.
Yeah, he's not playing. He's just stealing money.
I'm gonna go Knicks in 6.
Knicks and Cleveland home. They got the home court advantage. I don't know who I want to pull for in this because I like
Knicks
Brunson.
Still a game. Game 1 or 2. I think they still a game.
I like Brunson, and I think the NBA is just better when the Knicks are in the playoffs. But Cleveland was one of my picks to win the East early in the season. So with that said, I'm gonna pick Cleveland in 7.
Okay.
Philadelphia 76ers versus the Nets.
I got Philly in 5. I can see the Nets stealing 1. Maybe not stealing 1, but winning at home. So I guess, I can see it in 5.
I got the Nets in 7.
Whoa.
Upset.
Geez, okay.
Upset bomb.
I don't think that happens, but good luck. I mean, Nets are not bad. They're also, I don't think they'll keep up with the Sixers.
I mean, they got defenders all over the place.
The defense will keep them in the game. But I just think, good luck trying to stop Embiid. That man is just on another level right now.
That's true. I'm gonna still take the upset in that one. I need an upset pick. That's gonna be that upset pick. Number 2, Celtics will take on, according to us, if Miami wins, it'll be the Celtics versus the Heat. Who you got?
I still think Celtics win, but I think Miami's going to give them a run. So I'm going to go Celtics in 7.
I got Celtics in 6 over Miami. Miami just, it looks like it's time to break that team up. Jay Cross, I'm gonna get up out of here with that. Hey, bro, look, man, I gotta have I gotta have a upset, and that's what it is. Dave said he's here for the NHL. We'll do that. I forgot they playoff started. We'll do that next week, there, Dave. How about that? It might be too late, but we'll do that. We'll do that. Next week. But let's go to the West. The number 1 seeded Nuggets would take on, in my opinion, the Pelicans. I mean, who you got winning that one?
So I would have the T-Wolves.
You would have the T-Wolves versus.
I would say Nuggets in probably 5.
See, they look unstoppable, but they can be beat. That's the thing about the Nuggets. If they play the Pelicans, in my opinion, I think the Nuggets will have. I think the Pelicans will take them to 7 games.
Okay,
but the Nuggets will win. The good one right here, Russell Westbrook versus Kevin Durant, ladies and gentlemen. Phoenix versus the Clippers. 2 teams I'm not supposed to like, and I don't like either one of them, but I'm more biased towards the Clippers.
One of these teams, man. I hate both of these teams with a passion. I ain't gonna lie to you. And then the Clippers are gonna be out with Paul George. I think it's the first game, maybe 2 games. That's gonna be tough for the Clippers, man. That's gonna be tough to overcome. I got Suns in 5. I think the Clippers would have benefited from losing and dropping down, and maybe playing a team that they could match up against. And plus, the Suns are undefeated with Kevin Durant in the lineup as a starter. I hate the Suns. I hope they lose in the second round, which I think they will.
I hope they lose first round.
Man, I just that team is just tough to stop. They got so many damn weapons. And against a team that won't have Paul George for the first game or 2, yeah, I think it's just too much to overcome, even with Kawhi.
I'm taking the Clippers. And I'm taking them in 7. No, I'm taking them in 6, actually.
Okay.
Because they will have to close it out in LA if they're going to beat them. So I'm going to take them in 6, which is a crazy pick, but I'm taking them anyway. I hate both, but I hate the Suns more. So this is a pure biased pick for me. I ain't going to lie to you. This is completely biased because I hate Phoenix. Because the thing about Phoenix is their fans have been talking trash about Mavericks all season when we destroyed them last year.
I hated the Suns all the way back when they were a rival to the Spurs for those first couple of seasons. I just never liked them. They think they're better than they are. They act like they've won 20 titles in their franchise history. Right. Like they haven't done shit. Like back the truck up a little bit.
Yeah, like their fan base. I didn't even realize their fan base was that bad until like this year. It's just been, I hate the Suns. I take the Clippers over the Suns. Another good one, Kings versus the Warriors.
Man, a little bit of me wants to go with the Kings. A little bit.
The Warriors about to finish them in 6.
Yeah, I think they win in 6 as well.
Like I think the Warriors have been fooling everybody. I think they've been coasting the whole year because they know what they are. They know who they are. They have their identity, and they know what they can do when they turn it up. I think the Warriors are about to turn it up to
they're going to get Wiggins back too. So
yeah. And then you got Sabonis talking noise, saying I've been in the locker room with the Warriors and all this, and I'm saying that our offense is better than Golden State's offense ever been. So you just lighting the fire.
There you go, locker room material.
There you go. So
you'll lose by 40 in the game 1.
Dave said he go Kings for blasphemous. Jeff said Kings in 7. Kings in 4. Get out of here. What up, Alice?
I would love this. I would love for the Kings to win. It'd be
dope because It's fresh.
I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, it'd be a fresh team moving on. But I got the Warriors in 6. Grizzlies versus the Lakers if the Lakers finish 7th.
Here's my upset right here. I got Lakers.
I got Lakers too. I don't think that's an upset.
The
Honestly,
Lakers pull off the win against the Grizz.
Yeah, I don't even think that's an upset. Oh man, can you imagine Shannon Sharp at the playoff game?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
Especially if it's a Clemson game. Man, that boy gonna be talking mad shit.
Oh man, Shannon Sharp and T. Moran, and oh man, this is about to be crazy. So yeah, Lakers, you better do your job and get into that 7th seed and stay it. Yeah, I want to see that. That's going to be crazy if they happen. But yeah, that's our predictions right there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what happens tonight. So it's about to get interesting, man. And we'll talk about, after, I guess next week we'll talk about some free agent moves once we see more teams who that didn't got eliminated. Okay. We'll start talking free agency, the Kyrie and all that. The reports came out talking about Lucas asking for a trade. Lucas shut that down himself. And I'm just like, everybody just, people who don't watch the Mavericks are the ones reporting on the Mavericks. Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith. And they're putting these headlines out there. And I'm like, nah, that's not what the...
Well, you know they got to do the clicks. You got to get that clickbait.
It's like, I just listened to their interview themselves, and I'm listening to people that's in the locker room saying a completely different story. But hey, whatever. Y'all keep doing what y'all do. You know, lying to folks, and people keep tagging me. Oh, what about this and that? And I just tell them to shut up. Same old thing.
Shut up, bitch.
Just let's get into the XFL as we are in week 8 of the XFL. Actually, I'm sorry. We're going into week 9 of the XFL.
Week 9, yeah.
2 games left. Let's recap week 8 because it was an important week. The Battlehawks in St. Louis, another packed out house, over 35,000 people. They moved to 6-2 as they take out the Vipers. That was the first overtime game in XFL history. So that was pretty dope to see. Crowd went crazy. The Vipers are eliminated from playoff contention. The Renegades moved to 4-4, keep their playoff hopes alive as they took out the Guardians 18-16 in Orlando. The Roughnecks, they clinched their South Division playoff spot as they took out the Brahmas, who is now 2-6.
I watched that game. That was rough, man.
Yeah, I thought the Brahmas was going to pull it off. I was actually pulling for them to pull it off, but they end up losing. So the only way the Brahmas could get in now is if I'm sorry, I almost said Dallas. If Arlington lose out and they win out, that's the only way they can get in these next 2 weeks. And it's possible because Arlington has DC and the Roughnecks, the 2 teams that already clinched their playoff spots. Speaking of DC, the Defenders moved to 7-1 in a big game. This was the best game of the weekend, probably of the year. This was a good game, man. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. They beat the Seattle Sea Dragons in Seattle 34-33. Seattle dropped to that 3rd spot at 5-3. So DC, they clinched their spot. So now it's up to the Battlehawks, who is 6-2. And the Sea Dragons, who are 5-3, up to these next 2 games to decide their last spot. So let's get into week 9. You got the Roughnecks taking on the Vipers. What's your thoughts on this game?
Roughnecks, Vipers.
The Vegas Vipers.
I'm gonna go Roughnecks.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I hate it for them. Houston is favored at home by 6.5. I'm going with Houston as well. Hopefully the Vipers can pull up upset for us, but I got Houston winning. The Brahmas versus the Guardians. 2-6 Brahmas, 1-7 Guardians in San Antonio.
I want to say the Brahmas, but man, the Brahmas, golly, watching them a little bit, they have no offense at all. They struggle so much. They rely on their defense a lot.
Same with us.
So I'm gonna go San Antonio again, biased opinion, but hopefully they can score some points.
As a fan, I want to go for the Guardians because I need the Brahmas to lose, but I think San Antonio is going to win. And then you got the Renegade. Jeff said the Defenders and the Commanders are 2 worst names in football. First of all, I'll take the Defenders all day over the Commanders, and their jerseys are better. So, shout out to them. The Defenders got some clean jerseys. I love their jerseys. The away jerseys, at least. I love the away jerseys. Speaking of the Defenders, Renegades in DC. DC is favored by 8.5. Wow.
Yeah, they've already kind of established that DC is the best team in XFL. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna go with them. I don't think picking against them would be a smart thing to do at this point. So I'm just gonna go with DC right now.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with DC as well, man. And then that's the XFL week 9. So it's some important games coming up. If you watch it. Dave said the USFL is coming back, which is true. There's going to be 8 football games this weekend. I don't really watch the USFL.
No.
Yeah, so I could never.
I really have no interest in it because I don't have there's not a home team. Like I think that's what XFL. Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't really watch the XFL outside of the Brahmas. So like if the USFL team had a San Antonio team, I'd probably watch, but I just can't get into it, man.
The thing about the USFL is they have home teams, but they don't even play in their home cities. Like they have I think it's 2 or 4 locations that all teams play out of. So yeah, that's another, like, how can you get into that? So
yeah, when you can't even see them live. I think the live factor plays a lot too into it.
And then the jerseys are ugly, the team names are trash. I don't like it. I don't like anything about the USFL. It just look too old. It looks too 1970s and 60s for me. So yeah. At least be clean, so I can be like, oh, that's clean. I'll at least watch this. I don't even know the rosters this year, so definitely not happening there. But that is the show for the day. A quick show, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's quick and easy. Shout out to everybody that came through. We'll see what happened tonight. We'll set up the NFL draft stream as well. I'm gonna have to get the exact date on that draft. I believe it's not next week, but the following week, right? In 2 weeks.
I think it's on the 27th.
Okay.
So the last week of April.
Yeah, so we'll try to get that set up. Maybe I could get another.
It's only the first round too, so
yeah. So maybe I could get another overlay that just fits the draft, and I'll pull up some of the cards from the first rounders, and we can actually look at them and kind of have their stats and whatever next to them. I'm gonna try to do that, get that done before the draft, so we can have a good looking draft show together. And but yeah, that's the show today. Anything you want to promote?
No, I don't know when the NBA draft lottery is, Dave. It usually happens in the playoffs. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I saw a
what
date
day
on
it
earlier.
falls on it.
I can't even remember where it was.
Yeah, that's going to be very highly anticipated for me and Dave for sure. No, nothing really. Just same old. Live Wednesdays and Saturdays of this week. Friday, excuse me. So if you guys want to watch wrestling with some cool folks, come hang out with us. And always appreciate coming on here. It's always fun talking sports. It's always a good time being able to chit chat with you on some sports topics, and looking forward to next week.
Jump ass, I didn't have a time to do that. I didn't have a time to do the NFL version of it today. I didn't have a time to get like all the lists of the running backs and all that signed up. So yeah, we'll do it. We're gonna do that, but we're not doing it today. I just didn't have time to get everything up. So make sure you follow Get the Tables on Twitch, like you said. If you're into wrestling, that is the place to be on Twitch, ladies and gentlemen. No better place to be. The watch-alongs are crazy. That WrestleMania week was crazy that they did. They were on, every night that week?
Yeah, we were on every night, yeah.
So, yeah, that community is there, man. So make sure you follow. There's a whole bunch of cool people in that community as well that adds to the stream via the chat. It's just a fun stream to be in. So make sure you go follow them if you're not following them already. As far as dope content, y'all already know what it is. Dopecontent.com. You can find everything there. All podcasts there. All merch is there, which I need to add some more merch to the website. Did you ever get your shirt?
No.
I sent it and never checked it to see if it actually got there. You never got it?
No, sir. No.
Okay. I'll just do it. I'm going to have to do you like I did D-Web, because apparently the third-party website that I use to send the shirts, if I'm sending it for free, they just half-ass it and they don't always go through. So like with D-Web, I had to actually just make it myself here and then send it directly from me versus going through the website. And apparently I got to do the same with you.
Yeah, it's yeah, I had to do that yesterday. I had to go to the post office and do it. Man, it was outrageous.
Yeah, I hate this. That's why. That's the only reason I keep a third-party website. So when I do the show, I can just send it. But they don't want to do their job apparently, and I didn't even think to check the receipt to make sure that it went through. I just assumed that it would have been there by now. But okay, I have that. I'll just do it myself because I hate the post office, bro. But I'll just do it myself. Make sure you get them. So dopecontent.com, everything is there. I don't know what else to tell you. I've been saying the same thing for years now. Everything's dopecontent.com. We'll be back next Tuesday, same time. On Sundays, we got the Budget Cup podcast. When did the Mavs trade Luka to eat a D, chump ass? That's not happening. You know that ain't happening. I don't know why you the one that listened to what's his name?
Jeff Okuda just got traded to the Falcons.
What? From the Lions?
Yeah.
Why?
For a 5th round pick.
Why? He was their best DB last year.
I don't know. Saw it pop up on my phone.
I thought the deal was to make the Lions better and add to the defense, not get rid of your best. Okay, whatever.
He was trash, says Bizarre One. Okay, all right, we'll go by the Lions fan.
No, because I watched what they had 17 games. I watched 10 of those games, and every game I saw, he was your best corner. Stop, Dave. Even against the Cowboys, he was balling. Especially the last 6 games of the year, he was balling.
Will Levis is headed to Tampa tonight for a private workout.
Man, that's good for him.
There you go.
That's good for him. But yeah, I guess finally we got some breaking news right before we got off. He said the Cowboys could have got up. I mean, we got Stephon Gilmore, chump ass. Like, stop. Like y'all being selfish now. And then he talking about, watch Luka go to LA. Yeah, I'm about to really ban you and just have you over there because you saying stupid stuff now. You just about to get put out. We don't do this.
Oh, I know, Jeff. Yeah, Will Levis ain't coming in. I know. Let's trade up. Let's trade.
He said he'll be gone. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man, once again, thank y'all. I hope y'all have a good day. I know it's morning time. It might be afternoon if you're on the East Coast. So shout out to y'all for coming through, man. Much love to y'all. You got anything else, Tony, before we go?
I'm out. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. We out.